You make your minimum payment every single month. You never miss a due date. You watch that balance, and somehow it barely moves. You run the math in your head, and something feels wrong. That sinking feeling in your stomach is telling you the truth. The system was built this way on purpose. My name is Dave, and I spend way too much time studying the math behind why smart people stay broke. If you have ever looked at your credit card statement and felt like you are running on a treadmill that keeps speeding up, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Here is what we're going to break down today. Americans are sitting on $18.59 trillion in household debt right now. Credit card debt alone just hit $1.23 trillion. That is an all-time high. And here's the number that should make you angry. The average credit card interest rate is sitting between 22 and 24%. That is nearly double what it was 10 years ago. So let me show you what that actually means for your wallet. Take a $10,000 balance at 24% interest. You make the minimum payment every month like a responsible adult. How long do you think it takes to pay that off? Most people guess 3 years, maybe 5. The real answer is 29 and a half years. And here is the part that really gets me. You will pay $19,332 in interest. That is nearly triple what you originally owed. You borrowed $10,000 and you paid back almost $30,000. Let that sink in. This whole system has a name. I call it the extraction machine, and understanding how it works changes everything about the way you approach money. The extraction machine started with a court case nobody talks about. In 1978, the Supreme Court ruled on something called Marquette National Bank versus First of Omaha. Before this ruling, most states had caps on interest rates somewhere between 10 and 20%. The court decided that banks could charge whatever rate their home state allowed, no matter where their customers lived. Elizabeth Warren called it the single biggest policy change in the credit area, and it happened through an obscure court decision. 2 years later, South Dakota was desperate for jobs during a farming crisis. They eliminated interest rate caps entirely. Citibank was losing $100,000 per day on credit cards at the time. They drafted new legislation, and the South Dakota legislature passed it in a single day. The governor later admitted they introduced it and passed it in one day. Delaware followed. By 1983, 44 states had loosened or removed their limits on interest rates. Today, 75% of credit card loans come from states that hold just 4% of the American population. The math there should tell you everything about how this game works. Now, let me show you how minimum payments became a wealth extraction tool. Back in the 1970s, minimum payments were 5% of your balance. Credit card companies figured out that smaller payments meant customers carried balances longer. Longer balances meant more interest. More interest meant more profit. So they dropped minimums to 2%. CBS News said it plain. The minimum payments on your credit card are designed to maximize profits for credit card companies. They are not designed to optimize your financial health. Here is where the math gets brutal. Same $10,000 balance at 24%. If you pay 1% plus interest, you need 29 and a half years, and you pay $19,332 in interest. If you pay 2.5% of the balance, you need 53 and a half years, and you pay $38,219 in interest. But if you pay a fixed $300 every month, you are done in 4.7 years, and you pay only $6,644 in interest. The credit card industry has a term for people who carry balances month to month. They call them revolvers, and revolvers are the entire business model. Research from McKinsey shows that revolvers make up 60% of accounts, but generate 85 to 90% of all revenue. Profit per revolver account, $240. Profit per customer who pays their full balance every month, $25. Read that again. They make almost 10 times more money when you fail to pay off your card. The system is designed to keep you in debt. But it gets worse. Credit card companies actively target people they think will struggle the most. An MIT study analyzed 1.3 million credit card offer letters. They found that people with less education get offers with more backloaded and hidden features. Higher late fees, higher penalty rates, more fine print buried at the end. Meanwhile, people with more education get offers with stable rates and lower fees and airline miles programs. The researchers concluded that banks screen for behavioral biases and exploit consumer psychology for profit. They literally use smaller font sizes to hide the worst terms. And here is where the psychology locks in the trap. Researchers at Princeton studied how financial stress affects your brain. They found that money worries create a 14-point drop in your IQ. That is more than staying awake for 24 hours straight. The same person thinks clearly when they have money and struggles to make good decisions when they are broke. Financial stress creates what they call a scarcity trap. Limited thinking ability leads to poor decisions, which create more stress, which further reduces your ability to think clearly. The poorest people make the worst financial decisions because poverty literally impairs your brain, and the credit card companies know this. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds hopeless, and look, I get it, but understanding the math is not meant to depress you. It is meant to arm you, because once you see the machine, you can start to break out of it. Here is another piece of the puzzle. Late fees have become their own profit center. Credit card companies charged $14 billion in late fees in 2022. That is more than 10% of all the interest and fees they collect. 18 of the top 20 card issuers set their fees at or near the maximum the law allows. The head of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau said the income from late fees is approximately 5 times greater than what it actually costs companies to deal with late payments. They are not charging you to cover their costs. They are charging you because they can. And one missed payment triggers a cascade. You get hit with a $30 to $41 late fee. Extra interest charges start. You lose your grace period, so new purchases immediately start adding interest. Your credit report takes a hit. Your credit limit might get cut. A penalty rate kicks in on future purchases, often at 29.99% or higher. Promotional rates disappear. One bad month becomes years of damage. So, what do you actually do with this information? Here is where we talk strategy. Strategy number 1, the fixed payment override. Stop paying the minimum. Pick a fixed dollar amount you can afford and pay that same amount every month no matter what the statement says. Remember that $10,000 example? Minimum payments take 29 years and cost you $19,000 in interest. A fixed $300 payment takes less than 5 years and costs $6,600. Same debt, completely different outcome. Strategy number 2, the snowball momentum builder. Pay off your smallest balance first while making minimums on everything else. Once that smallest debt is gone, you roll that payment into the next smallest. Research from Northwestern found that people who tackle small balances first are more likely to eliminate their overall debt. The quick wins keep you motivated. Strategy number 3, the avalanche math optimizer. If you can stay disciplined, pay off the highest interest rate first. Mathematically, this saves the most money. The difference between snowball and avalanche on average debt amounts is only about $29, so pick whichever method you will actually stick with. Strategy number 4, the extra payment multiplier. On a $250,000 mortgage at 5%, paying an extra $100 per month eliminates the loan 2 years and 4 months early. That saves you $21,298. One extra payment per year on a $250,000 loan at 6.5% saves $70,000 and shortens your loan from 30 years to 24. Small, consistent extras create massive results over time. Strategy number 5, the balance transfer escape hatch. A $7,000 balance at 22% generates $1,430 in interest over 2 years. A 0% balance transfer card with a 5% fee costs you $350. That is $1,080 saved. But here is the trap door. Miss one payment and the promotional rate vanishes. Any remaining balance when the intro period ends immediately starts accruing interest at full rates. This only works if you pay aggressively during the 0% window. Here is the rule of 72 that everyone should know. Divide 72 by your interest rate and you get how many years it takes for debt to double. At 24%, your debt doubles every 3 years if left unpaid. A $10,000 balance becomes $20,000 in 3 years and $40,000 in 6 years. That is why getting ahead of high interest debt matters so much. The extraction machine relies on you not understanding these numbers. Credit card companies earn their money when you stay in debt. The legal system removed the interest rate caps. The product design dropped minimum payments to keep you trapped longer. The psychological exploitation targets people who are already struggling. This whole system was built to keep you paying interest for decades. And now you know how it works.